Hello there. All right, it's time for step 2 of the mastering your morning routine, your morning mindset, step number 2. So just a reminder, step number 1 was setting yourself up for success the night before. So setting your alarm for when you want to wake up, putting your phone away from your reach so that you have to physically get up out of bed in order to get your phone and shut it off. And then not hitting snooze, getting up, and your mindset, telling yourself, once you set your phone over on the other side, telling yourself, okay, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to be excited, I'm not going to be tired, just kind of setting that positivity in your mindset the night before, okay? So now I want to tell you about step number 2, which is not hitting snooze. And I am super duper guilty of being a chronic snooze pusher for years, especially once I started having kids and we were up all night and the alarm would go off and my first thought would just be, oh my gosh, just 5 more minutes. Give me a heart, a thumbs up, any type of emoji if you wake up and you're like, oh, just 5 more minutes. Just 5 more minutes, please. Or that alarm goes off and you're like, no way is this actually time to wake up. Okay, so I used to push snooze all the time. And I can't remember exactly when it was, but I read a few books and I realized that pushing snooze was really not good for your health. So not just for the fact of like, push snooze. Oh my gosh, okay, I have to get up now because I have exactly 30 minutes to get ready out the door, blah, 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 which used to be my life, is I would push snooze until that absolute minute when I couldn't push it anymore. I had to get up, I had to get going. But it actually, pushing snooze has a negative impact on your health, your brain function, and your productivity, which lasts for 4 hours. So have you ever done that? You push snooze and you push it 4 or 5 times and then you get up and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I didn't sleep at all last night. I'm so tired. That's actually not the reason why you feel that way. The reason is because you push snooze. So this actually comes all the way from Mel Robbins and from the 5-second rule, which I actually listened to that book. I read it several times and then I listened to it and I'm listening to it again, which is what reminded me of all of these physical things that happen to you when you push snooze. So throughout the night, your body sleeps, and I'm not a sleep expert, don't ask me all these questions, but it's just your body goes through cycles of sleep that last 90 to 110 minutes. And so by around the time that you've started to get enough sleep and about 2 hours before your body's ready to wake up, you start coming out of those cycles or your last cycle and you start to wake up and you start to come out of that deep sleep or whatever. So when your alarm goes off, your body, it's woken up, it's awake, you enter that awake phase, that next phase of your brain and functioning and being awake. So you wake up, you hit snooze, and even though you say I'm just going to lay here for 5 minutes, your body actually drifts back to sleep. You doze off, you snooze, even if you just barely fall asleep, but your brain starts another sleep cycle. So when your alarm goes off 10 to 15 minutes later, you're just starting another sleep cycle. And so your brain is like, well, crap, I'm not done with that sleep cycle. And so you either hit snooze again, or when you finally do get up, that's when you feel that groggy, I didn't get any sleep last night. No, that's actually because you were in the middle of a sleep cycle. You interrupted it, even though it was just 5-10 minutes. You interrupted that, and then you're awake. And then what happens if you hit snooze again? You start another sleep cycle. And so can you see how all that cognitive, your brain, the functioning, it just gets so... It's not just hitting snooze, you're messing with your brain function, your creativity, your get up and go-ness is affected by going back into that sleep cycle and starting it again. So it can actually take you 4 hours to pass that grogginess. So 4 hours to wake up. But what are you doing most likely in those 4 hours is jacking yourself up on caffeine, just having a crappy start to your day because you're trying to get out of that grogginess and to wake up. So when I first read this and heard this, I'm like, oh my gosh, no wonder I have just felt so tired, so exhausted for years because I'm constantly pushing snooze and I'm putting myself back into a sleep state and not really waking up and letting my body go the way that it is. So not only is not pushing snooze important just to get up and get after your day and like just get going, but physically it has so many negative effects to pushing snooze for your brain and for those sleep cycles, for just the fact of like, and have you ever like shut your alarm off on the weekend and all of a sudden like after 90 minutes you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, like I just wanted to shut my eyes for 5 more minutes. It's because you entered a sleep cycle. You did those 90 minutes, your brain did everything it needed to do, and then it passed and moved on. So that's step number 2, is more of a little sciencey reason as to why pushing snooze is harmful and can have negative effects on your whole entire day, okay? So set that alarm for when you want to get up, when you need to get up. Set it on the other side of the room. Tell yourself before you go to bed that you are going to wake up when that snooze button goes off. You're not going to, or when that alarm goes off, you're not going to hit snooze. And you know that you're not going to do it, so that way you can be up and ready and not fall back into that sleep cycle and deal with those negative health effects, okay?